Hello, friendos and randos. We are back with more casting. To this weekend, the Filipino Championships just happened. They didn't have a caster available at the event, but they did have a stream. So we're gonna rewatch the stream and cast some of the games. Not all of the games will be available because on the stream vault, some of them have like some technical difficulties and like start midway. So I'll just cast whichever ones are like full games. So I believe this is just round two. We're gonna start. It is going to be Red Yellow Betty versus Green Bonney here. Bonney is looking like they are going first. They're setting up their life and everything right now. Bonney starts off with a 1-cost Bonney Searcher and then passes turn. This is a pretty good start because it can soak up a hit from one of Belo Betty's Searchers, which can be very, very powerful. But Belo Betty has a Kuma to answer that Bonney. Really, really powerful play from the side of Belo Betty and very high value here. Bonney though will still have ability to rest one of the attacks from the side of Hello Betty here with that one down open, and that means this Kuma is probably not going to get a swing off this turn, but another Kuma from the side of Belo Betty here. He will be able to clear this Koshiro blocker and also develop another 2-cost body if he has any, but he will definitely want to develop a 4-cost character if possible. I do see a Lindbergh available for him. So he does go for the 5k swing into leader. Bonney takes the life, rests the Kuma with that leader effect. And then we are going to see what Brighton ends up choosing here. It is going to be the Lindbergh because that will allow him to clear the Koshiro next turn with a 7k swing. And Bonney is going for a staff strategy here. She didn't swing at Brighton last turn, so Tony here going to his 5 down turn. We'll see what he ends up doing here, whether he has that Cavendish available. He does go 5k into the Kuma, just clearing the board, making sure that he doesn't take too much damage the following turn. He is hovering that Cavendish. He will have an extra 2 down available, and so will be able to use his leader effect. And now we'll check if the Betty actually has something like the Raise Max available in order to clear this Cavendish, and if not, I mean, he will still be happy to get rid of that Koshiro for free still. We are seeing 6 Dawn turn. I don't think there is a Race Max, but there is a Koala, and Koala will be able to reduce Cavendish's power. So here we go with the Kuma first, KOing the Koshiro, and because that is really important, because without the Koshiro being gone, you can't clear the Cavendish. And here we go with a 7k swing from Lindbergh, KOing the now 3k power Cavendish, which is really good. And then Tony deciding what to rest here, does rest the leader, so that the leader can't attack this turn. And now we'll see 7k swing whether Tony will take. He does. Still left with 3 life, and at the moment still kind of in a reasonable position, still at 3 life on the 7 Dawn turn. Usually Betty, very fast deck would put you very low very quickly, so I think Tony is going to be relatively happy with this position. Of course, losing your Cavendish, losing that Koshiro, losing that Bonney, not something you want to see, but it is what it is. We will see if he has a good 7 Dawn turn play here. I do see a Urush in hand. 7 Dawn, he won't be able to use something like the Mihawk yet. He will go for an 8k swing into this Lindbergh, and that's 4k counter from Brighton. He's not willing to give that up. Goes for the Urush, gets 1 Dawn active end of turn, so his leader effect is still usable, and we are on 8 Dawn already for Brighton. And we'll see if he is playing one of those variants that play that 8-cost Dragon. I don't see it in the hand right now, but he does have double Lindbergh. We are gonna see him split his Dawn up 4 and 4. He hasn't used his leader effect a single time yet, so he is still pretty healthy hand-wise, but he is being starved. He's not getting any more of those life cards, and he doesn't have any like 6-cost Koalas or anything like that. So we'll see how he decides to proceed from here. He's spreading to 6 and 2, maybe choosing to swing with one of the bodies. The Bonney, of course, still has leader effect available, so either the Kuma or the Koala is getting rested here if he swings with leader first. And even if one of them gets rested, he can use leader effect to push the Kuma to 5k, so he can get 1 additional swing. But Bonney's hand is looking kind of large now, about 7 cards. Still a lot of game to be played here. And again, Bonney is going to be on 9 Don next turn. That means Mihawk Cavendish is a very real possibility. And if that Urush doesn't get cleared, he will get 1 Don open at the end of the turn and be able to use his leader effect. So it is just going to be the 5k swing here. Rest the Koala with Bonney leader effect, and we're going to see a 1k counter or a life taken here. So this is probably a pretty negative matchup for the Bonney in my opinion, and I do see that it costs Mihawk for the side of Bonney available. It is going to be the next turn's play most likely, and there's a carrot as well, and he's going to discard the carrot for 1k counter here. We're going to see with the remaining 8 Don for Brighton what's going to be the play. It looks like it is going to be a swing with the Kuma for 5k. We are going to spend 3 Don that way. However, next turn these two characters are probably going to get removed with only 5 cards in hand for the side of Brighton. Bonney does take the hit here, and then another Lindbergh gets developed, and Brighton leaves 1 Don open. And I did see there's a counter event in the hand of Brighton here. I need to go and look up what that counter event is. It has Ivankov on it. It's just a give one of your leader or characters plus 2k counter, and then the trigger is play a 4 cost or lower revolutionary army type. It's don't underestimate miracles. So we might see him counter out of this 5k swing on the Koala. No, he's instead just gonna let it go. Interesting why he would choose to leave 1 Don open in this case. He's not gonna protect the Kuma either, so that goes to the trash. We are gonna see Mihawk come down. Now 5 active Don for the side of Tony. Could be a Cavendish, could be a Carrot, could be any number of very dangerous cards. It is going to just be Bonney instead to refill the hand, which is also a really good play. We're going to see Bonney turn sideways, look for 5 cards. It is quite a few options here. There's an X-Drake 2k that he's moved to the front, and that is going to be the selection here. So X-Drake moved to the hand, and 3 Don remaining for Tony. What else is he going to play this turn? He is in quite a scary position right now. He goes for the Koshiro, which means he is protecting this 8 cost Mihawk from any shenanigans, and now 2 Don open thanks to the Urush, as well as having 1 spare at the end of the turn. 10 Don turn for Bonney, opponent 2 life, and you have not used your leader effect a single time so far, so this is a very precarious position, I would say. He is going to be able to remove that Koshiro blocker with his Lindbergh swing, and then I guess he can develop 2 bodies after that. But he is only going to be able to swing with Lindbergh this turn, and then after that probably his leader will get rested by Bonney leader effect, and then we won't be able to see much more than that. So I do see Morley and Lindbergh in Brighton's hand, so that might be the play for this turn. Just develop the board a little bit wider so that next turn he can try and push some damage in, and at least have an additional like 2 attacks instead of just his leader swing. So we are going to see 2 Don first. That's going to be the Koala to reduce the power of the Mihawk. We'll see what else comes after that. It is going to be just a 9k swing with the Lindbergh into the Urush, and then he KOs the Koshiro, and Bonney leader rests that Belo Betty after, and we'll see whether there is going to be any counter for this. It is going to be block plus 4 because Mihawk is now at -3. Sorry, block plus, there's no need to block. Mihawk is at 5k, so it will be 5k counter. So he does get rid of that Urush, so no more free 1 Don restand at the end of every turn for Bonney, but Bonney is already at 10 Don, so that is definitely less impactful than you would like. It is going to be another Lindbergh here, and then left with only 3 cards on the side of Brighton. And here we go back to Tony's turn. He is at 6 hand cards. If he uses that Bonney searcher effect, he's going to be going up to 7, so in a very healthy position right now because of how he's been able to control Brighton from really developing the board. We are going to see what else ends up being the play for Tony here, he does have the full 10 Don available, goes for a 5k swing into that Lindbergh. It will be another 8k swing from this Mihawk afterwards, so not sure if Brighton will be willing to drop a card for this. He might want to force the Mihawk to turn sideways so it can't be a blocker for him, but no, just lets the Lindbergh go to the trash. Again, his board getting very controlled. He's not really drawing the 6-cost Koalas, he's not really drawing Karasu, he's not really drawing the 5-cost Evas, so he doesn't really have a way to really develop and also to get more hand cards back. I do peep a 8-cost kit from Tony, but no, there's a 9-cost Zoro. This is going to be really, really precarious for the side of Brighton, because that is going to be lethal in at latest 2 turns. We know Brighton only has very few cards in hand, so that Zoro can do a lot of damage, but of course you gotta be wary when it's against this Belo Betty. Is that a second Koala in hand for Brighton? He can remove this. If he does have 2 Koalas, he does not, it looks like. That's Karasu, Koala and Molly in hand for Brighton, so only able to reduce by 4k, putting Zoro at 5, not able to get rid of it yet. We are gonna see what he ends up doing. Tony wasn't able to use that Bonney Searcher this turn, so he only has 5 cards in hand. He's once again going for the Koala onto this Mihawk, reducing it back to a 5k base, not giving Tony any free value. And then now we're going to buff the board for the first time this game. However, Bonney's leader effect is active, so that active Koala that can attack this turn is probably not gonna be able to swing. We are gonna see the Lindbergh probably move first. He is currently at 8k. We'll be able to get rid of that Bonney as well. And then when he swings, Bonney will be able to use her leader effect to rest something. Tony is going to be probably trying his best to not take too much damage here. Even if he does have that 8-cost kit in hand, he does have to be wary of, again, that 2-cost Koala. Very, very powerful way to bring that 8-cost kit down to 5k. Brighton here just counting how he should be swinging. He only gets 2 swings this turn probably from this Lindbergh as well as his leader. So we are going to see leader effect resting the Koala that can attack. And that is only 1 attack left from the side of Brighton. We are going to see a 9k swing. And Tony does take that hit. And then the rest of the Dawn is going to be another 9k swing from the leader here. And I think what Brighton is going to try here is to just drop the Molly and set up for unblockable lethal next turn. So he is thinking about it right now. He does have 4 open. He's considering playing even safer, maybe dropping that Karasu he also has in hand. However, this is kind of scary. There is going to be 5 attacks from Tony next turn with that Zoro and Mihawk and leader. So it is a 9k swing here. We are going to see what Tony responds with. I do see Beige blocker in hand. We're going to see how Tony responds. He might still be worried. Even if that 8-cost kit is available, he could be in a dangerous position. Brighton isn't going to be able to protect this Lindbergh, so next turn he will only have that Koala and that Molly that he's about to put down. So Tony does take the life, plays down the Molly, and here he's saying, I have 2-turn lethal. So you have to get rid of this Molly or you have to kill me right now. And Tony, honestly, it is very feasible to actually try and kill Brighton right now. Of course, Belo Betty does have that blocker Karasu from life, so there is a level of danger from the side of Tony. Like if he tries to go for lethal, if that blocker Karasu pops out of life, that could be a game-ending trigger for sure. But right now, Brighton only 1 card in hand. A 7k swing is guaranteed a life taken, and it looks like Tony is considering how to go for lethal here. However, I do remember Tony does have that X-Drake, so he can actually rest the Molly and just clear the board and be relatively safe, I think, because he does still have the Beige blocker as well. So he could easily set up a 2-turn lethal here, just sink 5k into phase once, and then use the Zoro to clear the rest of the board, including the Molly. but we'll see if that is going to be the case. We are going to see a 6k swing to face, and Brighton only one card in hand. I believe that's the Karasu, so we'll just take this life. It is not going to be a trigger, and we are going to see maybe a little turn come here. So Mihawk available, Zoro available. We can go 9 and then 8 Dawn left. We can go 9, 14, 14, 14. Like, that's very, very safe. And we'll see if that is going to be the play here. Remember, Karasu blocker available from live, but Tony does have X-Trick in hand, so he can rest it. He can just go for 99999 and then use save that 5 Dawn for the X-Trick to rest the Karasu blocker. No Karasu blocker yet from Brighton. 2 life left. Zoro has 3 swings available. Will he be able to take it? He is going to attach 1 to the Zoro. He leaves 7 active Dawn. So we are going to see a 10k swing here, and then using Zoro's when attacking effect, rest 1 Dawn sets Zoro active. Brighton takes the life. Is there a Karasu? It is a trigger, it looks like. He's just deciding whether he wants to use this trigger or not, because it is probably not Karasu, because if it was, it would probably be an auto like play down here. So it is not going to be Karasu. I don't get to see what the card is, but he now has 4 cards in hand. We are going to see 4 Dawn attached to Zoro, and he just goes for the 13k, sorry, 5 Dawn total now, 14k swing. Can't do math. And we are going to see another 40k swing, and that is going to be game from the side of Tony. Good win on the green Bonney. The 9-cost Zoro coming in super clutch to really end the game here. Tony, of course, did have 8-cost kit available in hand. Could have definitely played another turn for sure, but just chose to end the game right here, right now. And definitely the game could have been saved by a 3-cost Karasu trigger. So that was kind of a risky lethal, but he does really get rewarded for it because there was no trigger from the side of Brighton. Very, very well played game from the Bonney in the end. I think staffed out the Betty, played to his outs, had the Mihawk, had the Zoro, and that teacher-disciple duo really able to take away the game for Tony. Now, we're going to move on to the next game then. We'll see you in the next video.